Flash Gaming.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Just going to talk to you about a couple of things I found on the interwebs. Starting out with the Battlefield 4 open beta that's actually starting in October 1st for the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. For those of you that don't know what Battlefield is, it's a FPS, first-person shooter game. That's basically the competitor for the Call of Duty series. Battlefield is owned by EA. Call of Duty, I believe, is Activision. Pretty sure on that. I'm not 100% because I don't really follow FPS all that much unless it's like really unique style FPS like the Metro games, like Metro Last Light or Metro 2013. Was it 2031? 20 something? I don't really remember. I followed those games for a little while just because I thought they were a unique take on the first-person shooter genre. But Battlefield and Call of Duty, they're kind of like the modern style FPS games that are got all the kids going crazy over. But that open beta, if you're interested, starts October 1st. And in the article that I actually found that on, it was also talking about the release dates for the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions, as well as the release for the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game. I think it's interesting that developers and publishers are doing that, where they're like releasing it for the old generation and the new. Kind of makes me wonder what they're up to with that. Because shouldn't the new generation graphics just be so much better? I mean, the hardware alone is capable of so much more. So why would you want to make a game that's compatible with the lesser of the generations? Interesting thought. So you guys can leave a comment and talk about it. Why? Because, why not? I don't know. You don't have to leave a comment if you don't want to. And for you Xbox Live Gold members, it looks like your free game of the month as part of their little Gold Initiative free game thing that they've been doing for a little while. Looks like this month is going to be Rainbow Six Vegas, which will be available throughout the time until the end of the month. Which it's a shooter from Ubisoft that came out in 2006. Got some respect, I believe, in that time. But nothing that was like huge notoriety. The Rainbow Six series has been around for quite some time. I don't think it was actually Ubisoft's original thing. I think Rainbow Six was actually owned by a bunch of different developers, and then Ubisoft made one, which was Rainbow Six Vegas, which you can pick up for free as long as you are an Xbox Live Gold member. Then you can actually get this game. I said gold member and I started thinking Austin Powers, so I just had to laugh at that. But it looks like this game actually will be replacing Magic 2013, which is the free game from September 1st to the 15th. Interesting, though, in this particular article that I found from GameSpot, looks like gamers in South Africa will receive Shadowrun instead of Rainbow Six Vegas. I don't really know what that's about. That's kind of interesting. I don't know why they would say, one particular country is going to get this game and another country is going to get that game when it's only one particular country that's being singled out in this. Like South Africa, you don't deserve Rainbow Six or something. I don't really know. Or it's kind of a weird decision, I think, to say, nope, you're not getting Rainbow Six, you're getting Shadowrun instead. It's free. I guess that's something. It's a free game. Might as well not argue with it. I don't know. I wouldn't argue with it. If someone gave me a free game, I wouldn't argue with it. I'd play it, and if I hate it, I'd tell them I hate it. And if I liked it, I said, hey, thanks for the free game. I really liked it. That's what I would do. But I'm not from South Africa, so maybe that's a moot point on my end. I don't know. And for you JRPG fans, that would be Japanese role-playing game fans, there's a new game by Ubisoft coming out pretty soon called Child of Light. Sounds mystical and stuff. And actually, having seen the trailer, it looks kind of interesting. Mostly because, they kind of are trying to phase out the whole turn-based thing when it comes to RPGs. Like all the big RPGs in the world today are either MMORPGs like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars or something like that, or they're like just the open world. There's really no story that's worth your time. You can just go do whatever you want type of RPG. And the JRPGs were totally different from that. They're kind of for me, they're really nostalgic. For some people, they're just annoying. So I guess it really depends on kind of what you grew up with. But for me, the JRPGs were actually, just a very, I guess you say, fundamental part of my gaming life. I mean, I started out with JRPGs. That's kind of what I really got into. It's what got me into gaming, what got me into doing RPGs. And so there's a new one coming out, and interesting to note that this game is actually being headed up by the lead design for the Far Cry 3 series. So he went from doing Far Cry, and then now he's doing this like JRPG style new game that's I almost said independent. It's not really independent because it still is Ubisoft, which is a pretty big developer, but the feel of it, they gave it this feel that has this kind of indie quality to it, and I thought it was very very interesting. You'll have to watch the trailer to really know what I'm talking about. And if you have seen the trailer, I'm sure you do, and if you haven't, I'll have a link in the description below. You can check it out, and I encourage that everybody should, because it looks like it would be a really fun game. And last but certainly not least, in my searching of the interwebs, I discovered an 8-bit version of The Dark Knight, the movie. And it's just represented in this, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past 8-bit version. And I thought it was a really interesting little video. It's only a couple of minutes long, so I'll have a link in the description below, and you guys can go check out the original article where it was hosted, and then also check out the video, because I thought it was pretty cool. And I mean, even though it doesn't really look like true 8-bit, the author of the article actually kind of addresses this. It does kind of look 16-bit, which not a big deal, that we have to like get all up in arms about. But it is definitely important to note, because like 8-bit wouldn't have the type of coloring and sprites that this particular video has, just so you can tell the difference. But anyway, I mean, it was still a really cool little video that, just someone took the time to recreate The Dark Knight in an 8-bit version, still using the music from the movie, but then also turning it into a polyphonic music tone, which is kind of how the old games were. They had the, like the beeps and the boops, and that was like the music. And so they kind of basically took those songs and turned it into that, which they were really, really, really close. It actually had the same tones to it, which was, impressive in and of its own right. But like I said, there'll be a link in the description below. You guys should check it out. I had fun with it. It's only like 3 minutes long, not a big thing. Just kind of covers the highlights of the movie. But it's still kind of comical to see, Batman and the Joker fighting in 8-bit form. But yeah, you guys can check that out. I thought it was cool, so I decided to share it with you guys. Anyway, that's all that I was able to find today, but, I'll keep looking around, see if I find anything else, and in the meantime, you guys have a fantastic evening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.